I don't have one person I could call the most important defender of human rights. I can think of people in different parts of the world who I consider to be the most important defenders of human rights in that part of the world. If I think of, Russia and the Soviet Union, I think of two people. I think of a woman named Lyudmila Alexeyeva, who died not so long ago at the age of 90 or 91. She was a friend of mine. She lived in the United States for a number of years, and we became friends during that period. And when she went back to the Soviet Union in the latter part of Gorbachev's tenure, I went to visit her in Moscow, and I saw her there many times. And when I stepped down from the position of president of this foundation, even though she was then 85, she traveled to Budapest to take part in a dinner for me. But Lyudmila Alexeyeva would have been very much. And then another person, Sergei Kovalev, who is still alive, who is also about 90 today. He had been a microbiologist, and he was an early dissident and was the principal person in publishing something called the Chronicle of Current Events, which was the best information source on repression in the Soviet Union. And he served 7 years in prison, and thereafter was in internal exile in Siberia. So he stands out in the former Soviet bloc countries. Adam Michnik in Poland is a friend of mine, and I saw him here recently. Václav Havel in Czechoslovakia. In China, I never met Liu Xiaobo, but I knew about him for a very long period. I had known that he was here in the United States teaching at Columbia when Tiananmen Square took place, and went back to China and was there at the time the military crackdown on Tiananmen Square, and probably saved a lot of lives at that moment, because the students who had occupied Tiananmen Square gathered at the monument in Tiananmen Square, and the debate was whether they should leave or whether they should stay to confront the military. And he said, let's take a vote, and he presided. And he said those who had voted to leave had the majority. And so almost all the students actually left the square, and they survived as a result of that. But everything I knew about Liu Xiaobo, I admired immensely. In Brazil, the person I particularly admired was Cardinal Arns. Cardinal Arns was the cardinal in Sao Paulo, and he was the principal opponent of the military when the military ruled Argentina, and he documented their crimes. And there's a book called Torture in Brazil, which results from his documentation of their crimes. And to the degree that the church in Latin America, in certain countries, became a strong opponent of human rights abuses, the influence of Cardinal Arns was particularly important. So those are the people in Latin America. If I go to Different parts of Africa. I think Archbishop Tutu in South Africa would be one of my heroes. I think he's a marvelous human being and also has a great sense of humor. But I think Archbishop Tutu at every point played a critical role in resisting apartheid in South Africa. You could go to other parts of Africa and I'd pick other people, but